Hi, everyone. We have been getting a lot of tickets over here on the email that was sent out earlier this week about changing your password. I'm hoping everybody can hear me, and everybody should see my screen over here that says plv.esu3.net and paplv.net. I have all mics muted right now. But if you do have questions or if you can't hear me, there is a conversation piece over there where you can type in notes to me. Or if you have questions as we're going through this, let me know and we can definitely get those answered for you. I was going through tickets over lunch and I noticed that we have just gotten a lot about confusion about the way this new change password site works and the way everything's going to tie in together as we move forward. And I thought maybe it might be good if we just took a little time and I got a recording out there and did this webinar to try to get some of those questions answered so you weren't waiting for us to get back and answer the ticket because we don't want to stop anybody from work they're trying to get to. So basically what we've done is I'm going to start from the very beginning. 16 years ago or more, we created a domain called plv.esu3.net. And for the longest time, you were asked to do plv / when you logged into things. Well, that's the short name for it. That was a part of ESU, and over the last year we've been working to break away from ESU, and we're moving now to paplv.net. As of today, all secondary computers are moved over. All teacher computers at the secondary are moved over. New teachers at the elementary are moved over, and Prairie Queen is moved over. Why this is important is it affects the password change site for you, but it's going to be a temporary piece. So within 2 weeks from now, or 2 weeks from tomorrow actually, all elementary teachers will be moved over to the new domain as well, and then this information will affect everybody. So what we've done in here is we have created this change password site that hopefully all of you have gone to, or if you haven't gone to, you'll go after this and try it. We talked to our ETC media specialist people today about it and got them the information. I do see a couple of them on this meeting as well, but they would be a good resource to start with. I just had Kim Guess actually call in, so I'm going to use her as a perfect example, and I kind of walked her through this here and the way that this works. And what we've got here on the screen is perfect. So she typed in her username and then her current password. The reason I gave you all that information about these domains is because the current password is very important. If you have been moved over to the new domain, your current password is what you use to log into the computer. If you haven't been moved over to the new domain, then your password is a generic password. And I have a list of those generic passwords right here in an email I sent earlier this week. And so it goes by building. So Anderson Grove is AG12345 exclamation point. Bell is BE, Carriage Hill is CH, and down the line there. So if you want to take a quick snapshot of that, or write down what password you would use because of what building you're at, this would be a great time to do that. Once you get to this, then you'll type in that current password. So again, for elementary people who haven't been moved over, an Anderson Grove person would type in AG12345 exclamation point. A secondary person would use the password that they've used to log into their computer for the last year to make that change. And then you'll type in the new password. So the new password, you'll notice up here we have the restrictions. It has to be between 8 and 16 characters, and it has to have 3 of these 4 characteristics. uppercase letter, lowercase letter, number, and symbol. And the symbols can include these. So some symbols are outlawed, but these symbols are all allowed if you want to use those. The other thing that we've been running into issues with today is you can't use your name. You'll get an error if you use more than 2 characters of your name. So for instance, my full name is William. I can use WI something, but as soon as I go to the 3rd letter, it's going to give me an error, and it's not going to work. So the other thing to keep in mind that we've run into, we had a student whose name was Mona, and she was going to Monarch High, and so when we went to set her password to Monarch as the default password we use to get students logged in, it wasn't allowed because Mona and Monarch are the letters are in there together. So those are the things you got to keep in mind when you do it. Now, what you should see if everything works well, and this is why I left it up after I worked with Kim Guess, is you should see successful verification of username and password. You should see successful password change for PAPLV computer login, successful password change for Office 365, and then successful password change for Sims Classroom Gradebook. Those are the 3 systems that are affected directly. Along with that, your login to the new website that the PR department rolled out is also affected directly by that. Throughout the year, we're going to be rolling out other systems that are directly affected by this password change. So the goal of the department is that once you do the password change, you have one password to remember for every system or almost every system we use in the district, which is the ultimate goal that we hope to get to in the next couple years. We will keep adding systems, but we'll let you know. And when we add a system in, for instance, we will probably be adding EAC in sometime during the month of September, which means your EAC password to check payroll information is going to be the same password you use to log into your computer. So that's the ultimate goal. Now, one of the kickers for people who are still on the PLV domain, so that would be elementary teachers with the exception of Prairie Queen, veteran elementary teachers with the exception of Prairie Queen, you are still going to use your old password to log into the computer until a tech gets out there. Within the next day, I'm going to send to all media specialists the time frame that we will be out to your building to convert you over to the new domain. So as soon as we come out to your building, we'll take your computer, we'll convert it, and then you'll be using that password that you create today to get to everything. Some of the other things I want to mention is once you change your password, when you bring up Outlook, it's going to say bad username or password. You're going to have to change the password to get into Outlook to your new password. Your phone, if you've got email connected to your phone's going to come up and ask you to change the password for that as well. I think those are the large things. At this point, I'm going to see if there are any questions. Again, we have this conversation piece over here where you can type in chat or you can ask questions there. So if you've got questions, now would be the time to get those in, and I can definitely answer those questions. I do want to mention again that media specialists have a lot of this information. We talked to them about it today, so hopefully they can help with this quite a bit too. The big thing that I think we've run into today, or that I've heard about, is people using their name for the password. That has caused us some issues. Oh, Steph mentioned that you do have to enable your chat down at the bottom to get that to work. Heidi's asking, is there a difference for Mac users? We still encourage Mac users to go through the change password website, There really isn't a difference for Mac users. They will be moved over to the new domain as well. It's going to look a little bit different when we get out to your buildings, but the systems themselves should all work the same for Mac and PC users. That's a good question. All right. Oh, Heidi is typing again, so I'm wait for that question to come in. While she's doing that, I do want to mention that I have recorded this video and I'll be posting it to YouTube. So if you have other people in your building who were not able to be here, which I totally get, this was last minute, we are recording this and I'll be posting it to YouTube, and you can send this to anybody else who wasn't there. Okay, so the other question from Heidi is, I have a teacher who says their password will expire in 2 days. Will they receive help prior to that? So what that is Office 365 only allows us to keep passwords for 1 year. So there are people who are getting a message down in the bottom right-hand corner of their screen that says that their password is about ready to expire. We absolutely can go out and help with that, but they really don't need us to. If those teachers go through the Change Password website, they've now changed the password for their Office 365, and that message will go away. And then we'll be done with this until next year. Again, we are required to change passwords on Office 365 once a year. So next fall, we'll be going through this again. Hopefully it's one of those things, though, that we'll be a little bit more used to. I do know one other thing I wanted to bring up. On the new website, oops. On the new website, when you go to sign in, previously when we logged into the website, we had to do PLV/. We no longer have to do that. All you need now is your name. The same name you use to log into the computer is all you need. All right, I think that looks like all the questions we're getting at this point. So I am going to close the meeting, and like I said, I will be posting this to YouTube, and I'll send out the link to everybody, to principals, media specialists. In fact, I'll probably just send it out to all staff so that they can get to the link and watch the video. If there is any questions you have, let us know. We're always here to help at the help desk, and thank you very much.